Hey guys, so super random, but I have a Kringle Over the Rainbow 3-wick candle review for you guys today. This is a fragrance that came out all the way back, I believe, in 2019. And the reason or the way that I stumbled upon this was I was out shopping at a Bath and Body Works, and there happened to be a Belk department store right by it. And I was like, you know what, let me go in because I feel like I've heard that Kringle candle has been sold at Belk before. And after Christmas, it's usually a lot of like clearance sales going on. And lo and behold, there was indeed one clearance candle from Kringle that was over the rainbow. And I think I only ended up paying $6.80 for it, and then plus tax. It was like some clearance price and then another 10% off coupon of all clearance. So this was $6.80 and then a tax on top of that. So that's like pretty much like the price of like a BBW 75% off candle at SAS. So I was like, at that price, you know what? It probably wouldn't hurt to try it. So let me see it and see what all the, hype is about. I've bought Kringle candles before. I had a pretty substantial order and haul before of the 2-wick tumblers in the old paraffin wax, but those sooted like crazy. And they didn't have the strongest throw, and they would also turn like a really icky brown color as well. And it just wasn't all that great. So I actually ended up donating or giving away to friends all the Kringle candles that I had in my collection because I just wasn't really using them or enjoying them. But then, of course, now they have the 100% soy candles, the 2-wick tumblers in the Kringle line. And they also have the soy blend 3-wick jars that you see here. So it's, I'm assuming, a blend of both paraffin and soy. And then, of course, they have the Country Candle full, like molten paraffin jars as well. And so with all the like changes in the wax formulas and whatnot, I was like, let me try the 3-wick ones because I've never actually tried a Kringle 3-wick one because I think the haul I did was before the 3-wicks became on their website. So I was like, let me try a 3-wick one of this, and this was the one fragrance that was like really discounted, and it smelled nice on cold, so here we are. So yeah, of course, and then Kringle does have the the Candle Ambassador, Brand Ambassador program as well. And you guys just know, like with a lot of PR reviews, because a lot of times you do get them for free, that the reviews tend to be skewed in a rather positive way. So I've always been skeptic of the brand from that point of view as well. And so of course I want to actually buy the candle myself, like at a store, smell it, and then actually do a review on it and see how it does. And long story short, color me impressed because this is actually doing really well, like actually quite well. I've been really enjoying it. I've been just like burning it every single day because it's just been doing so well. So yeah, in any case, if you care about this old 2019 fragrance, then here it is, and I'll also just go into performance in the throw and all that kind of stuff. If you just wanted like a non-PR review from Kringle, then here you go. So the notes on this read, so Kringle does top, mid, and bottom notes, and so there's a whole lot of notes, which actually I feel like it would probably benefit them to reduce the number of notes, kind of like BBW does. I think BBW is smart in that they did do a very selective amount of notes on their candle, because even though their fragrances also have top, middle, and bottom notes with a ton of different like notes all up in between. A lot of people will see like some random floral thrown into like a fruit candle or a bakery candle and be totally turned off by it. And I think that's why Bath and Body Works is so incredibly selective with their notes, and also give us like stupid like fluffy notes like clouds and sand, is because it's just the marketing point for them. So with Kringle, I feel like they would actually probably benefit from doing less notes, just because the more notes there are, the more opportunity there is for somebody to be turned off by a specific note in there that they don't like. Whereas if you like make it 3 sort of like general notes, then people won't be as turned off. But any case, yes. So did I already read the notes? Yes. So top is melon, sea salt, and ozone. Mid is cantaloupe, honeydew, melon, and marine. And then base is melon, sweet, and green. So basically, what does this smell like? It is like a super sweet, juicy, and slightly zesty, like cantaloupe, honeydew, melon fragrance. It's like a super sweet, juicy melon, but there's a slight zing to it that I get from like a citrus zestiness that I think is coming from like the sort of ozone, marine, and sea salt type of fragrances. A lot of times like marine or ozone accords do tend to have a citrus note in them as well. So the citrus mixed with the saltiness gives it a slight like zest and like clean, vibrant freshness to a very juicy and sweet melon. You will certainly get the cantaloupe and the honeydew in there, and it's just like a very ripe and juicy melon fragrance. And I'm really enjoying it for like the spring season that we are going into, and I've been actually like going to town with it a lot. The most similar fragrances I can probably compare to is this is incredibly similar to the Sweet Spring Melon from Homeworks a while back from the Spring collection a while back. It's very, very similar to that. The closest thing to Bath& Body Works is probably Coastal Watermelon. I think Coastal Watermelon obviously has a watermelon note that this one does not have, so it has a little bit more of a Jolly Rancher, like sour tartness to it. And I feel like that one also has a little bit more of a salty quality to it, but still very much in the same fragrance family as Coastal Watermelon. So I think if you enjoyed Coastal Watermelon, you'll still like Over the Rainbow as well. Except this is just, once again, a little bit more cantaloupe and honeydew forward than it is watermelon. But still also very, very, very similar to the Sweet Spring Melon from Homework. So if you happen to really enjoy that, this one's like really the next best thing to it. So yeah, overall it's just a very straightforward and simple, but like well executed, juicy, and but still fresh type of melon fragrance. And it doesn't smell artificial or doesn't smell like a Jolly Rancher or anything like that. Yeah, I've been really enjoying the pleasant melon fragrance, and I've actually been burning the sprinkled birthday cake candle from BBW around the same time frame, and the two merged together into smelling like a melon cake fragrance. I've just been really enjoying it. So that's what the fragrance smells like, and let me get into the performance. So this is a third or fourth day burn. I think it's actually fourth day at this point because I've just been really burning it a lot. And this one has the thick rope-like wicks, but they're not quite as thick as a lot of the BBW ones, but the same type of wick of that sort of like braided rope-looking wick is what this is. And the wicks came very, very long, so I trimmed them to about like maybe a fourth of what they were, and that seemed to be totally adequate, and it wasn't sitting or anything like that. So we're good to go there. And then on subsequent burns, I was still very generous in trimming them because these rope-like wicks, even with the Kringle ones, if you leave them too long, they do suck quite a bit. So this one, I was just very generous in trimming them, and they don't seem to dud out or nub out or anything like that. And they're not giving off too much soot either. If you leave the wick too long, or if you burn this for like a 4-hour like time frame or whatever, it will start emitting soot. So keep a watch on that, because this one does burn quite hot, and the wax pool does get very deep very quickly. But I kind of don't mind that because like it pulls out really quickly, so you get fragrance really quickly too. So that's a plus on that side. So the performance has been fine. The wax does discolor a little bit in like the third and fourth burns because once again the wax just burns very hot, so of course it does discolor or scorch it a little bit, but it's not at all affecting the performance or the fragrance of the candle at all. It doesn't smell burnt or scorched or grody like a BBW candle tends to do at the mid-range point, so we're totally good to go there. As for the throw, I was really impressed with this too. Like on the first two burns, it was like quite solid and strong. It was like at least an 8 in my bedroom, like totally just filled up my bedroom with like this delicious melon fragrance, so that was doing really well. It also filled my like open concept area to like a 6 or a 7, so no problem there as well. It got a little bit weaker on the third and fourth burn, maybe just because it's been burning a little bit longer and the fragrance oils are starting to burn away, and because the wax pool does get quite like deep and thick, that it might get a little bit like hot, that the fragrance oils are burning away a little bit quicker. So it went more from like a 8 to maybe like a 6.5 to 7, 6 to 7 range, but still more than adequate. Totally can smell it in both my open concept and the bedrooms, so I've been totally fine with the performance and throw on this. So I'm like, yeah, totally impressed with the way this is going too. So yeah, it hasn't like dudded out or it hasn't gotten really super murky, and it's not like excessively sooty like a Bath& Body Works is, so we're good to go on the performance there. So overall, yeah, super positive thoughts on this. I'm actually kind of impressed. I'm like, wow, this is actually burning quite well. It's throwing well. It's not like dudding out. It's not like overly sooty. I can totally smell it, and it smells like delicious and like authentic. So I'm good with it. The label's actually quite pretty in person when you look at it, because there's like a metallic silver like foil to it as well, and even the rainbow has like a metallic sheen to it. And it's just like really actually quite pretty and nice when you get it in person. So yeah, obviously I was very hesitant about Kringle just because my first experience wasn't that good, and then obviously the brand ambassador stuff like throws a lot of like skewed results into the mix, but this has been really good, especially for $6.80 plus tax. Obviously you probably won't get it this cheap on their website, but they do have a holiday sale, and I would have to say I'm a little tempted to check out the holiday sale and see what's going on there, and then maybe trying the 100% soy candles and see if those perform just as well or better, because this is actually doing quite well. So yeah, obviously Kringle, there's some cons because they're all blind buys. Their website's a little grody, and a lot of their like sales and visual marketing is also kind of on the tacky side and not like super polished like a BBW type of brand. But the actual product itself is quite good, so I can't really rag on it too much. So yeah, Belk does have a whole other selection of candles, kind of like their base fragrance is like a lavender, a lilac, and like a cologne scent is also available there too. Those are a higher price, but you can use coupons on them. It's still more expensive than a BBW, but I would probably, unless you can find a clearance candle for like $7 at Belk, then try that. But otherwise, maybe go on the Kringle website and, use their codes and sales and buy it that way, and get like some of the new fragrances rather than just like the basic core ones at Belk for a higher price. So yeah, if you see this at your Belk store and you like melon fragrance, total thumbs up from me. Actually pleasantly surprised. And yeah, once again, I wouldn't be opposed to checking out more of their candles on their sales section, and going from there. Let me know your thoughts on Kringle, how their 3-wicks perform versus their 100% soy 2-wick ones, and any recommendations you have in the comments down below. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.